I'm going to do one more short video on one of the harder problems here that shows you all three of the steps that I talked about in the notes. So you can see both of these equations, neither of them say x equals something or y equals something, like all the other examples I've showed you. So actually on this problem you have to do a little bit of work for step one. And when you're choosing which equation to solve, you're going to want to look for the variable that has no number with it. You can see that x that I just highlighted doesn't have a number in front of it, just like the y's and the other x. That is going to be your easiest variable to solve for. So I'm going to write that down. X minus 4y is negative 11. Step one says solve one equation for one variable. We just said we're going to solve for x. That means I need to move that negative 4y over. So I'm going to say plus 4y plus 4y. I cannot put these two together because they're not the same. I just have to write x equals negative 11 plus 4y and leave it that way. So that's step one. Solved an equation for one variable. X equals negative 11 minus 4. And like I said before, I'm kind of going to circle that so I have it. I'm going to get rid of these so they don't confuse us. I have my answer from step one circled. I know it's right there. Step two says to take that answer from step one, that's why it's circled, and put it back into the other equation for x. So it's going to go right into there. So instead of saying 3x plus 5y, I'm going to say 3, and I have to put this whole circle in there for the variable. So I need to use a parenthesis. Negative 11 plus 4y, that's a 4. And I still have plus 5y after it, equals 18. So you can see where these types get a little bit more difficult. Now I got to do distributive property. 3 times negative 11 is negative 33. 3 times 4y, well 3 times 4 is 12. So that's a 12y and it's positive. And I still have this plus 5y out there. Now I'm going to do two things here. I got to solve for y. Well, I'm going to put those two together, and I'm also going to move this 33 to the other side. It's a negative 33, so I'm going to add 33. So I get 30. Whoa, I added that way wrong. I'm going to add 33, maybe I didn't, 8, 9, 10, 11, 51, there we go, equals, and like I said, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put those two together. They're on the same side, they have the same variable. 12y and 5y leave me with 17y. My last step is to solve for y. And when I do 51 divided by 17 to get the y by itself, I get 3. So that is my answer for step 2. Now if you remember back to that video, step 3 says take your answer from step 2, right here, this 3, and put it into my answer from step 1. That's why I kind of have them circled so I know where they're going. So now I'm going to say x equals negative 11 plus 4. And instead of y, I'm going to put in a 3 because that's what we just found. 3 times 4 is 12. With a negative 11, I get a positive 1 for an answer. So I have my two numbers that I need. My x is 1, my y is 3. Let's see if we got this right. 1, 3. All right, so there you go. That was a more difficult example for you to take a look at.